And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane. She comes each week and just shares some garden insider tips and tricks that'll make a difference in your yard like this week. And so we are in the thick of the summer planting season, all the summer mixes. Lots are looking, the plants, they're looking good. Yeah.
There's some plants that they love the summer, but they love it when it gets hot. Lantana.
It's growing like crazy.
Yeah, so there's certain plants that crepe myrtles. The crepe myrtles are gorgeous right now, and they just love the heat. Yeah,
Kind of like me. I'm a summer guy. I like the heat. I'd rather be cold. I'd rather sweat than shiver any day.
That's true. We call him the lizard.
Oh,
You just like it hot.
At least I'm not the rat.
And I'm like, where's the air conditioning?
Yeah.
Yes, but some of our plants are like you. They like it nice and hot. So some of our earlier plants that we've put in some of our containers are they're showing the stress of the heat.
I did pull some, I think some violas out. They were just too heat stressed. They just, okay, you're out of here, guys.
We're done.
You're bringing us down.
Yeah. So some ones you can put in right now that really love the heat. So this one's Penta. Pentas come in white and red and lavender and pink and just all kinds of wonderful colors. Loves the heat. It's actually a very heat resistant
It's got a
plant.
cinnamon kind of smell to it. It's got a definite
maybe that's why it's
light.
animal resistant.
Well, it could be. Yeah, it's true. Butterflies sure like the taste of this. Oh my gosh.
Very much a good butterfly attracting plant. So definitely a good one.
So pentas they grow about, I don't know, a foot tall, kind of vase shaped. They've got bulbous flowers that kind of hover and float above the foliage that butterflies think are landing pads.
Right.
You will have more monarchs, more swallowtails, more painted ladies, more any of the pollinators, the butterflies especially. They are going to love this particular Penta, P-E-N-T-A. And it's going to bloom now through first part of November. And then it finally goes, I'm done.
Once those flowers fade, you trim them off and you'll get new buds setting almost immediately. So it's a good continual bloomer. Likes the heat. Another one of my favorites is Portulaca. So this one is a double flower Portulaca.
This one does not show well on camera.
Well,
so that is pretty.
I'm just trying to show a bloom. If you can
gotcha.
see the bloom, it's more than just a little single bloom. It's almost like a little ball at the end of the flower stem there. And they're another one, very low water usage, but boy, you put them in a hot spot.
Yeah.
And they are happy as can be.
It's like a rock garden. You put them in, they like spread in between they'll take the radiant heat and just thrive in that. I mean, not just hot, crazy man hot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Great in containers or in the ground. They're again come in a multitude of colors: orange, yellow, pink, you name it. Bright colors.
So this is ice plant, right? Or Portulaca.
It's Portulaca.
What's the difference between ice plant and Portulaca? Because they look similar to me.
They do look very similar. Portulaca is an annual here. It will not come back. The ice plants that we carry are actual perennials. So the ice plants for our area that we bring in will come back year after year after year. These guys are enjoy them for the season, then they're done.
So it'd be sort of like an annual perennial. So the perennial variety of this Portulaca ice plant comes back year after year, but it doesn't bloom as well or as long or as big or as double flower. You mentioned the double puffy flower. It is spectacular. Whereas the annual is bred for the flower, the showmanship of the flower. So this one actually will bloom better, longer, stronger, brighter, but it won't come back. And I don't think this reseeds either.
I don't think that one does. Yeah. There's kind of the moss rose one, the old-fashioned one. Has a skinnier leaf to it and a simpler flower. That one will reseed, but this one I don't believe does.
Big flowing, just kind of flows over the edge of a hot container next to a driveway, in between, next to the walkway going up to the front of the house. This one loves the heat. Hanging baskets. Yeah. Portulaca is famous in hanging baskets.
Definitely. Another one that I really like, because this time of year, snapdragons kind of go, I'm a little hot. I'm just going to hang out here for a while and see what happens. Angelina kind of gives you that same look as a snapdragon, but it's one that definitely can take more heat and bloom with that heat, where snaps will take a break when it's so hot. These guys will just bloom through the heat. So just they're getting purples, whites, pinks, you name it.
I just look at it and go, I've got my sequin shirt on. I'm promoting Dancing for the Stars. So kind of 5 more weeks and the show is on at Yavapai College. But this purple goes with my blue sequins really, really well. I like it.
So I have 5 more weeks of looking at that shirt.
You do. It's starting to stand up by itself in the corner. So it's I'm afraid to wash it because
you don't have any sequins
I just need 2 performances. Carrie won't mind, my dance partner.
Let's hope.
We're dancing 2-3. We're practicing 2-3 times a week. And I'm getting better. So I've memorized a third of the program, very fast paced, very it's movements like crazy.
Yeah.
She's going, don't hold me. Do the movements from across we need to fill up the whole stage. I'm going, okay. Anyway, I'm trying to keep up with her. She's very creative. It will be fun.
It's all for a good cause.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So heat has been hot. So I kind of wanted to go over some of those things we can do to help our plants in this heat. So
water.
I think water is very important. And I would say some people, they use their irrigation systems, which are great. Irrigation systems are wonderful for helping you save water, but they're not the end all to end all. This morning I was walking the dogs and irrigation was going off on one of the neighbors' houses and didn't have the head on.
Oh, it's just spewing out.
So it was just shooting. It was just hitting where he had rocks.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually on the plant.
He was watering his weeds, promoting weed growth.
Definitely. So irrigation systems are amazing, but you can't just ignore them. They do require maintenance and update, whether you do that yourself or you have somebody come in and check them. I highly recommend run your system where you can go out and watch it and make sure you're not just wasting that water or it's not getting to the plant that it needs to get to. And the other thing is run your system and then go out and check how far down that water went.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
If you've got a skewer or a
screwdriver,
go see how deep that water actually went, because some people think, I ran it for 15 minutes. It should be running off by now. Well, it goes down like a half an inch.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to be deep watering our trees and shrubs in this kind of heat.
I was promoting, or I've got it in my notes, supplement water, brand new things, just hand watering. Don't just rely on the drip system for new plants. Add one additional old-fashioned hose or watering can and just add to it to help take the pressure off of those plants. So water.
Other thing is mulching around your plants.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think of mulching only for wintertime, but mulching around your plants and your trees and shrubs this time of year, it helps keep them cooler. It helps keep the weeds out of there. So you're not going to have weeds sprouting out. And so it's just a really good, keeps more moisture in the soil. So it's very important to do. People don't think about doing that in the summertime.
It's the most important. So shredded cedar bark, just a 3-inch layer. Magical. Cedar keeps bugs away because it's got a repelling action. It keeps the sun off the soil so the sun doesn't burn the soil. And then it keeps moisture in. It does a lot. Attracts worms, all the beneficial stuff. So it does a lot of, they like the organic matter. They're going to go, I'll help break that down. That's kind of their job. And so then they aerate the soil and they break down the compost. Yeah, it's all good.
The other thing I would say is another reason to go out in your yard, go in the morning when it's cool, check for insects, things that will be stressing plants out. If you have a stressed plant in this kind of heat, it's going to exasperate. It's just going to be more of a problem. So you really want to keep your trees and shrubs as healthy as possible. This time of year, keep the insects out of there so that it stays nice and strong.
I would say too, I'm seeing quite a bit of webbing. So webbing on Indian hawthorn, apple trees, I've seen ivy, they're on everything. That's spider mites. So if you have spider webs on a plant and don't see spiders, they'll be obvious, they'll be big, and there'll be other dead things in the spider web with them.
Right.
If you don't see that, that's spider mite. They are super bad for plants. They just strip the tissue right off of it. Don't let them kill your plant. They'll kill it. So spider mites are bad. So
Yes, they are.
well, Lisa, we're out of time. So
Yeah.
thank you for some insider tips. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back.